Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed. Don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well then, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well as yours, maybe I'd still be walking around today. Where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world. Is that a fact? And your voice? You ripped that from them too. I've never heard such silken tones from a naked skull. So powerful that you've been overpowered by clowns in red capes and a glowing necklace? Well, colour me impressed. Still, you'd best keep that mask on. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Changed. You are you, but more. You are another, but not. You look to your hands, your belly, your feet. Flesh you don't know, molded into unfamiliar shapes. You cradle your aching head, where another's memories and wisdoms mix with your own. Your fingers trace a line from your head to your face, feeling not the creases of the mask, but the porous surface of new skin. You lower your arm, blink twice, and step forward in this new guise.
An animal sty. Freight or food?
Hey, get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me. Dragged me down here. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. A gentleman of...
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Oh, wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy elf? Choose one more step, and it will be your last. A collared sauce freak thinks he can clobber a red? Damn fool. Lucian's name. I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his gaze finds the sunken hollows that once held your eyes.
Ah, freedom. Tastes better than wine. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set you free, lad. Say your prayers while you've breath to speak them. The halls await.
Worms take you! What would he have to gain by killing me? Strange forces are at work. Good thing I didn't worry about splinters.
Why, you're looking a bit more... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. In the meantime, your next stop will be You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Sauce. For good. Is he? Oh, well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
No known associates.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise. My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore.
Easy now. Why don't you move along? Get some fresh air. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here? Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky Finn didn't see it like that. We'll find out who...
She looks up at you.
I was on... You're one of the only indisputably innocent people I thought as... Listen, bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold. Think about who's your real... You let me know.
As the dead man's flesh slides down your throat, you feel his consciousness enter yours. His memories are yours to experience. You are Finn. Your heart is heavy. You know too much. It's all too much. You met him. A bright light blinds you, then fades. You feel a tremendous power in your hands, but they are shaking so hard you can barely use them. Suddenly you're on this very ship, crouched in a corner, hugging your knees. A figure approaches, an older woman. Her eyes are kind. She comes closer. She says she wants to talk. She reaches a hand toward you. You grasp it. The memories end. You are no longer Finn. You return to yourself with a jolt.
So, anything interesting for me? From his memories, you ate something off his corpse? Please, don't tamper with the evidence. Especially not like that. As for the older woman, I'll have to check out the ship's log. If she's aboard, I haven't met her myself. Must avoid us Reds when she sees us. If you meet anyone like that aboard, maybe you could talk to her. Casually. See when she last spoke to Finn. So, anything interesting for me? I'll take that as an... It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
Please, please, please! Screw you, scallywags. Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. Why, I never. I left my good pals at home, or I'd be clutching them with all my daintiest, most ladylike might. Say as you will, husband. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb won't be treated so.
The children break out into giggles.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Guess you aren't a creative type, are you, Chief? I say they're one and the same. Nope. Trying not to find anything out, either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
She eyes you suspiciously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. Just like you. And I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She chuckles once more.
That red-cheeked refusal tells me more than licking you would. But suit yourself, darling.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp you found.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, elf, what's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you. At once.
Ifan performs an...
And I don't intend to do away with the custom. Lucky find!
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well,
Well,
got
well.
this wolf on the
What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? In which case, I take it your cuisine is limited to the introduction of eggs to hot water. How disappointing. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after, just as I thought. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
Keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking... Did you see the body?
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that? The ship.
Away.
But there's this.
His... He can...
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister William, you faring okay so far? Of course I do. Seems Voidwoe can dog your heels like a shadow. That's no way to live, is it? You'll see. We're gonna help you. You head on in now.
I'm trying to concentrate. Keep those bolts trained on her. And if she tries to run...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it, then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God! The woman's mad! You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Mask! She stole it. If these savages see me without it, they will have my skull for a goblet.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods! Like a fine grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you. He leaps to attention, then whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take out your blade!
Rix raises his sword, which shakes to the rhythm of his trembling hand.
before this thing snaps into splinters. Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. A warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge. The door groaned.
Something's breaking through. What in the hell are those things?
Death fog? Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
That means there's still a chance.
children and dwarfs.
The dwarf yanks at...
Said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Fatty, there's a ladder.
You're gonna be the death.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait. Voidwoken.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games.
They who are about to triumph.
I've faced worse.
Here's something. It's Magister C1. The one who put on this damn collar.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. Bloody bubbles froth from her mouth. She's not long for this world.
We need to wait.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Well, that was decidedly unpleasant. Am I the lone survivor? Depending on one's definition of survivor, of course.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child screws up his face and looks at you hard. He lifts his mirror up to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess no one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore. Glory is mine! Glory is mine! Worms take I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order. Ah, hello. What's this? I found something. This again.
Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes.
What's this? I found something. I wonder where this leads.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. The child quiets and seems comforted by the child nods.
You can have this.
She nestles back into her spot on the ground.
Go! Get out! You are not welcome here! Go, man-pig! This is my mistake. You are no pig. I am no bull. Please, just leave us.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Come on then, Legsy. Hey up.
I find I need bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or brisket, both the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy cud chewer.
Have your cud.
Over the goal.
Dallas,
I will not.
This is not your business.
Don't let this...
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts griff, especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined threat.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth the sweat of my brow. Eh?
The elf smiled.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours.
Suit yourself. Probably wise, given the rashes you can pick up around this place. Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to go the usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when pushed...
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Too much, you might say. I can make them bleed any which way you want. Which is? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after? Come again? You another friend of Niles? I told that Magister freak to get back to his little dungeon in the keep, and I'll tell you the same. Now get the hell out of my face! Oh, Dallas, you maniac.
As soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you.
Have a read of my con... So, time to find this Boris fellow.
As you approach the unsmiling Magister, Ifan catches your arm and speaks to you with some urgency.
I need to talk to this one for a few moments.
Ifan strides up to the Magister, speaking in a calm and controlled voice. Though you can't hear what he whispers, the Magister's face turns whiter than snow as he hands a note to Ifan with shaking hands.
Don't! I'll give you the information. Here, just don't! All right.
Ifan walks back to you, leaving the quivering wreck of a...
Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean? Maybe.
He sniffs the wind, gazing out across the dilapidated buildings of Fort Joy.
But maybe it's going to work out. I've got a contract, a man on good to know. And likewise.
Ifan catches you looking...
What? Oh, it's just practice. All... I only do it when it's... That's about this.
After reading this...
Bolted on there tight, ain't it?
The squirrels know...
What's happening to these turtles? They're transforming.
mine.
Worms take you. Swallowed too much seawater by the looks of him.
Foolish to attempt an escape by sea in these waters.
Locked. So, this is Fort Joy.
What a crumbling disaster.
A delivery. Surely you'll have one.
Scram, snake face.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
The elf appears momentarily puzzled by your comment, but then offers you a dignified little bow.
As far as I'm concerned, you are noble and just in both actions and appearance. In this cave, we trust. It gives me. I hear of Noah's. Wait, before you. I am not here with. Thank you.
Shot! Got you! Got you! I got you! You can't
I feel him.
The young girl's eyes are covered.
Hello, stranger. I do not...
Her eye...
I can I protect... He is called... You bring ice. Yes. Please ask. Oh, you... It is my...
No one tells me there are so many... An elf live...
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Fear? Pity, perhaps. A blind wolf may live. If you shared him... But never mind that. If you need to suit up, I can offer you a fair price. If not, I would thank you to move on.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
What were you thinking, messing with Griff's brutes anyhow?